Right then, hello and welcome to Formula 1. I had already done a series, or attempted to start a series of this a couple of years ago, but I decided to abandon it because I wasn't happy with the quality, and I'm going to start again from scratch. Now, for me personally, this is one of the most complete Formula 1 games of the mid to late 90s, in fact, including some of the newer games that were released in the last 10 years or so. The reason for that is that most Formula 1 games, in fact, pretty much all Formula 1 games that are released nowadays are released halfway through the current season. Not with this one. This was released in 1996, but it depicts a 1995 Formula 1 championship. Now, the thing with that is that they were able to add so many intricate details with this game, including driver substitutions that happened during the season, a Formula 1 team completely dissolving and going into bankruptcy after the Monaco Grand Prix, which was a Simtech team. So at the start of the season, you get 26 cars on the grid. After round 5, only 24. So it's little details like that that were able to be added into the game. As I mentioned, driver substitutions as well. There's 33 drivers in this game, but only 26 spots on the grid. It is really quite, intricately detailed, something that you don't really get during the games these days. So yeah, saying that, we're going to go on and do a full Formula 1 Drivers' Championship season. We're going to have a look at the setup I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to be having fuel or tyre wear because you're the only driver that goes into the pits. The AI do not pit, so it puts you at a massive disadvantage from trying to win races, and you end up like mid-pack in, not getting any points at all. So yeah, all the assists are off though, automatic gears, minimum downforce, no fuel. The race setups as well is going to be as follows. So we're going to do variable weather. Now that does play a part in qualifying as well. So if the race is dry, the qualifying or the grid lineup is as it was in 1995. So say it's dry for the Brazilian Grand Prix, the starting order, excluding you of course, is as the driver started in that race in 1995. If the race is wet, then the grid is randomized. So there you go. Tyre wear I'm going to turn off, damage I'm going to keep on, no boost I'm going to keep off, 1995 season order, and the race length is going to be 25%. What else? We're going to go into the championship, we're going to have the difficulty set to hard, we're going to do all 17 rounds, and we're going to have a full grid. So there you go. team we're going to be using. So we're not going to go for Benetton because they had Michael Schumacher and Johnny Herbert. We're going to actually pick the Williams-Renault, and I'm going to pick David Coulthard because there were, I think, these two are the only drivers in this team that took part in all the season. I will show you the substitutions though. If you go to McLaren Mercedes, you have the lineup of Mark Blundell and Mika Hakkinen, but you also have Nigel Mansell and Jan Magnussen. Now, they do play a part in the series later on when they had driver substitutions. So yeah, it's you know, quite unique to have such an in-depth, detailed game as this, especially for 1996, when most games that came out a year ago don't have as much detail. It's really quite bizarre. But this is the doomed Simtech team that were dissolved after the Monaco Grand Prix. So Sciattarella and Jos Verstappen sadly don't get a seat after that round. But you got the 40, you got the Pacific team, you got Minardi, Footwork, Tyrrell, Sauber, Jordan, Ligier, McLaren, Ferrari, Williams, Renault, Benetton, and back to Simtech again. So yeah, we're going to pick David Coulthard. And we're going to get on with the first round, which is, of course, Interlagos in Brazil.
This is the first round of the World Championship, Interlagos, Brazil.
Ah yes, the late great Murray Walker giving us the race introductions, as always. So this is the starting grid then. So you have Damon Hill is on pole position, with Michael Schumacher alongside Johnny Herbert, Gerhard Berger. Jean Alesi starts 5th, with Mika Hakkinen starting in 6th place. Then we're moving across to row number 4, with Eddie Irvine and Mark Blundell. Row 5 is Olivier Panis and Ukio Katayama. I can scroll this a lot faster, as you can see. Rubens Barrichello and Mika Salo, Morbidelli and Frentzen, Suzuki and Martini, Badoer and Wendlinger, Gasho and Inoue, Montermini and Moreno, Jos Verstappen starting 23rd with Pedro Diniz, Sciattarella starting 25th, and of course I'm starting at the back as always for this entire championship. I didn't set a time in qualifying because I didn't take part. But here we go. And it's raining, so the grid is, of course, randomized. And away we go. Now, my biggest critique about this game is the AI behavior. They do treat you as if you do not exist. They cut into your line. They don't get out of your way. Oh, case in point, I was just punted from behind. And another thing as well is that when you do make contact with another car, you just slow down to an absolute crawl. You cannot just free yourself from the car ahead or from the side of you. And they just will not get out of your way. Excuse me, pardon me. Another thing as well, in wet conditions, if you touch the curbs, you will spin. So you have to be very careful. Right, let's get past the Peugeot. Ah, get out of the way. Yeah, there was definitely contact, Murray. Thank you. So, there you go, up into the top 10 already. Now, the wet races are a lot easier to win or to catch up to the front end than dry because the AI do go a lot slower. So I will be able to catch up with the leaders. As you can see, I'm already up into 4th place. And this should be quite an easy victory, even though the difficulty is on the hardest. So, Damon Hill is currently leading, my teammate, so this is good for the Constructors' Championship.
Race order. In first, Damon Hill. In second position, David Coulthard. In third place, Michael Schumacher. 4. In fifth, Mika Hakkinen. In sixth place, Johnny Herbert.
And there you go. So that's the top 6 at the moment. I don't have to keep going through them, so that saves me a job. I'm going to take the inside from Damon Hill, though. Thank you very much.
Now he's in first place.
Indeed. So, yeah, I will be turning off the commentary after the first race because it does get a little bit annoying. And yeah, it's just... He does repeat the same quotes over and over and over again.
Accelerating hard now.
It's a little bit on the monotonous side, but... You know, at least you get to hear it for the first round. But yes, as you can see, wet races on hard difficulty are not hard at all. Oh, and there you go, touching the curb, and around you go.
This young man really is a superlative driver.
I'm not pulling away that quickly because of that spin. He's right behind. So I'm hoping that the Williams-Renault team can win the Drivers' and Constructors' Championship, because that would be quite nice. In reality, it was Michael Schumacher that took the second consecutive Drivers' Championship.
Race order. In first, David Coulthard. In second place, Damon Hill. Third, Michael Schumacher. In fourth position, Gerhard Berger. Fifth, Mika Hakkinen. In sixth place, Johnny Herbert.
Yeah, the game does like to struggle when it comes to the commentary going through the top 6. Sometimes it just breaks completely and he can only make it into the top 4 and then he doesn't say anything else for a while. But yes, we're pulling away. 5 seconds now from 4 in the previous sector. You can hear the back markers going across the start-finish straights. Now, the most irritating thing about this game is that if you want to save your progress, you have to go back to the front end of the game. So go back into the main menu, save your game, but you cannot overwrite your game. For some reason, they didn't have an option to overwrite your game data. So what you have to do, you have to delete your save that you have, and then save in that slot again. It is really quite ass backwards. But oh well. We gained another second in that sector as well. So, time of 125.5. Keeping it nice and clean so far. So, myself and Hill were pulling away from Michael Schumacher. We're still in third, 19 seconds back after a couple of laps. You do have other camera views as well. I haven't gone through them yet. But you do have a, I don't know, front nose cam. And then you have the usual chase cameras. You have quite a high one as well.
Damon Hill. In third, Michael Schumacher. Fourth, Mika Hakkinen. In fifth position, Gerhard Berger. In sixth place, Johnny Herbert.
Yep, so exactly the same top 6 as it was the previous lap. But we will be getting into back markers very shortly. So I didn't really make up that much time there, so in fact I lost a bit of time. Yes, that is another reason why I will be turning your commentary off. He does like to repeat phrases quite often. And it's just a little bit off-putting. It's a bit like Scotty, in a way. But I don't have the heart to tell Murray Walker to shut up. So instead, I'm just going to turn off the commentary next time. and for the remainder of the season. And we gained even more time on our teammate Damon Hill. Now 13 seconds, another 2 seconds up. Oh, that was lucky. The car was breaking loose just a little bit there. We do have the fastest lap time as well for 1:25.1. And another second gained as well.
Race order. First, David Coulthard. In second place, Damon Hill. In third, Mika Häkkinen. Fourth, Johnny Herbert. In fifth position, Michael Schumacher. In sixth place, Gerhard Berger. This will really help the team in this year's Constructors' Championship.
Oh, excuse me. There you go. That is the problem when it comes to the back markers. They do not get out of your way. But yes, speaking about the Constructors' Championship though, is that the points format that they had back in the good old days was a lot more stricter than it is now. For example, first place gets you 10 points, second place gets you 6 points, third place gets you 4, then it's 3, 2, 1 for 4th, 5th and 6th. So not 25 points for a win, you don't get a bonus point for getting the fastest lap time, and this, that and the other. You don't get bonus points either for driving a Red Bull. So yeah, it was a lot closer back then, it was a lot stricter, and it was more enjoyable to watch. You know, some of the other lower teams used to fight for podium spots, not like it is nowadays.
Race order. David Coulthard, Damon Hill, Mika Häkkinen, Johnny Herbert.
Ooh, Johnny Herbert's made it up into 4th place.
Yes, the beauty of this race is that it's totally unpredictable.
Well, I can agree with that statement. Races back then were unpredictable. You didn't know what was going to happen because most of the time it wasn't down to who has the fastest car, unlike it is nowadays. It was all down to attrition back then. And you would find more cars parked on the side of the track retiring from the race than you did having finished the race. And a perfect example of that is the 1999 European Grand Prix at the Nürburgring, when you had 2 Stuart Fords and a Prost take the top 3 steps to the podium. So yeah, back then it was a hell of a lot more unpredictable than it is these days. So as you can see, the back markers love to get in your way. But they shouldn't be too much of a problem to get past.
I'm sure there was contact there.
Oh, yeah, there you go. So the slightest little bit of contact with the AI, who don't get out of the way, and your car does go for a wee little spin. But that's not a problem.
It's not enough to be lucky, you've got to be good. And it is that.
Indeed. So even after that, we did gain a bit of time.
Coulthard, Damon Hill, Mika Häkkinen, Johnny Herbert.
It's a bit weird that when he goes through the quick fire top 6, he only manages the top 4 and then he just stops. He gives up. But Johnny Herbert, anyway, still in 4th place, so he's moved up a couple. That's probably down to back markers as well, slowing down some of the other drivers. We did lose a little bit of time as well. We were 24 seconds ahead of Damon Hill, now 21. Another thing about this game as well is that the AI do not retire, they do not pick up mechanical failures, which is a bit unusual and a bit annoying. You would have thought, you know, with everything that this game does have, with all the intricate details that it does offer, retirements would have been one thing with the attrition rate, but in all the years that I've played this game, I've never noticed any retirements or drivers breaking down. But there you go. And we didn't gain back that much time on Damon Hill either, but that's still fine. We still got a massive gap between myself and Hill.
They're really right on the edge, pushing it to the limit all the time.
Not really. Don't really push to the limit, not in this game. Oh. If you try and push to the limit, that happens. Oh well. Easy spin, easy recovery. We'll probably drop down below 20 seconds now. Gap from Damon Hill.
Race order. First, David Coulthard. In 2nd place, Damon Hill. In 3rd, Mika Häkkinen. In 4th position, Johnny Herbert. In 5th, Michael Schumacher. 6th, Eddie Irvine.
Ah, so Schumacher's dropped to 5th place. Bloody hell. So I haven't been able to beat the lap record so far of 1:24.8. And surprisingly, I've gained time. Oh no, there we go, it's dropped below 20 seconds, 19.4. So lap 11, got 6 to go, or 7 to go. So, as I mentioned, when it's rainy in these races, very easy to win. But a lot more difficult when you're in dry conditions because everyone does push to their absolute maximum.
He must be shedding buckets of adrenaline in that car.
Nope, not really. That's just the precipitation in the air. That's not adrenaline at all. And now back up to 22 seconds.
Race order. The race leader, David Coulthard. 2nd, Damon Hill. In 3rd place, Johnny Herbert. In 4th position, Michael Schumacher. In 5th, Mika Häkkinen. 6th, Eddie Irvine.
Ah, so Mika Häkkinen has now dropped back to 5th place, which promotes everyone up from 4th on back up a position, apart from Johnny Herbert, or Eddie Irvine, I should say, who's still in 6th place. Right, we're catching up to the Ferraris now. Yeah, everyone's getting caught on the back marker. Oh, excuse me. Ooh, almost.
He was lucky to get away with that.
Indeed. Very lucky. Sometimes Murray is quite smart when it comes to the voiceovers. Collected the spin. Yeah, she said I was lucky to get away with it, so there you go. Lap 13, not long to go. I think it's 18 laps around here, or 17 laps, so it's either 4 or 5 laps to go. To avoid spinning on the curbs, I did mention this at the start, but the curbs are very slippery in wet conditions. So to avoid that, just let off the throttle, just do not apply the throttle at all. Even if you're on grass and stuff like that. And you won't spin. So we're coming up to a massive bunch of back markers. I think most of them are cars we've already lapped, because they are very slow. Excuse me. Do you know, I'm not really sure if drafting does work on this game. I don't know. I have drafted or tried to draft before, but it doesn't really make any difference to the acceleration of the car. So I think I might have to do a bit more research if it does or not. Murray Walker does come out and say, oh yeah, he's slipstreamed. So maybe it does, maybe it has a little effect. I'm not sure. Try it with this car up ahead. Oh yeah, I can see the speed increasing, so yeah, slipstreaming does indeed work. Ah, so the penultimate lap. So 17 laps then. I think we've lapped everyone up to 5th place, I think. We'll see when we get to the standings at the end. Ooh. Excuse me. Come on, get out of the way. Oh, do not put a wheel on the grass. Yeah, it was indeed. Not a problem. Still got half a minute of gap between myself and Hill. So just a little bit of a mistake.
Only one more lap to go.
We won't do that mistake again, going out of the last corner. Come on. Come on. Get out of the way. Bloody Ferrari drivers.
Race order. David Coulthard, Damon Hill, Johnny Herbert, Michael Schumacher.
Yep, so that's your top 4. So the defending champion, Michael Schumacher, not having a good start. He'll be getting 3 points after the first round of 17. We should be able to draft the McLaren and lap him before the end. And there we go. And we get a victory then for round 1.
He takes the checkered flag.
Fan-bloody-tastic. So I lapped everyone then up to 6th place, which isn't bad. So Eddie Irvine in the end finishes 7th. Gerhard Berger finishes 6th. So the points finishers then, myself, Damon Hill, Johnny Herbert, Michael Schumacher, Mick Hakkinen, and Gerhard Berger. I got the fast lap as well of a 1:23.7. So the points then after round 1, 10, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1, and everything is exactly the same. So we'll get 16 points for the Williams Renault. In the constructors, Benetton has 7, McLaren has 2, and Ferrari has a single point after round 1. So there we go, that is the Brazilian Grand Prix sorted. We'll be back next time for round number 2, which is coming from Argentina. So, thank you very much for watching, as always, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.